Surrey, British Columbia, had 17 points in the win Sunday against Davidson. That was a game high and kept NC State as one of 6 undefeated teams in all of the land. The opening tap is controlled by the Wolfpack. NC State defeated Davidson on Sunday 75-45 and out-rebounded Davidson 51-36. The cleanup bucket, and the Pack is on the board.
Duke started off in a man-to-man defense. The #1 concern for Joanne P. McCauley today at shoot-around, the rebounding of NC State.
Cassell with the first basket of the game for NC State, the #9 team in the country. Duke comes in with an 8-4 record. They are 2-2 away from Durham, and that one is stolen away. And here's Koenig. With its win against Davidson on Sunday, 27 straight non-conference victories at home for this NC State program.
Duke is now in a zone defense, and Wes Moore said they will definitely have to hit some outside shots, and that's their shooter. Right there, Tom, on cue.
Koenig, her 44th, made 3 of the season, and that's the best on this NC State roster. She made 3 3-pointers on 6 attempts in the win against Davidson. Gurecki tries for a 3, and she's off the mark. It's also the first time since 1998 that the teams have met, and NC State has been ranked higher than the Blue Devils, who create a turnover on that possession. Boykin on the hesitation and baseline. There was some contact, and the foul's going against the Blue Devils.
When Duke gets an opportunity to score in transition, they have to take advantage of that, because when NC State gets their defense set, they are awfully tough. And just good job of help rotation on that backside causes the turnover by Boykin.
That ball just went out of bounds. No foul on the play. Koenig again, ripping the ropes for the Pack. Timeout, Duke. NC State up early. 8-0 Wolfpack. Early stages of the first quarter inside Reynolds Coliseum, as the Blue Devils and Wolfpack meet for the one and only time of the regular season. Head coach Joanne P. McCauley's team is 8-4. They've won 2 in a row, and in the last 2 games, LaChina held their opponents to just 18% from 3-point range. NC State is perfect for Wes Moore, 13-0.
Yeah, both of these teams have relied heavily on their defense, but I would give the nod to NC State in terms of the offensive improvement. When you look at the number of assists and the balance, the Wolfpack bringing more than defense and rebounding this year.
Their rebounding margins for NC State is the best in the conference and 7th in the nation. Up and under, and there's a basket for Duke. They're on the board with Faith Suggs. Leslie with the shot clock at 10. Hunter down the lane. Travel. Denise Brooks, Tiara Cruz, and Fatou Sissoko Stevens are officials for this evening's game.
Good job, Tom.
Thank you.
I'll let you say all the tough
I was
names.
a little worried about that one. Gurecki goes down the lane. Could not collaborate and get that pass to her teammate Jay Williams. It's out of bounds, and the 3rd turnover of the first quarter for Duke.
And turnovers have been a challenge for Duke this season. You know, Joanne P. McCauley said, listen, looking at what we lost last year, 2 premier ball handlers in Rebecca Greenwell and Lexi Brown, they've had to move pieces around, move starters around, responsibilities, and even more than that with the injury to Boykin, who's now returned.
4 points now for Cassell. And the lead is 8 in the first quarter for NC State. We mentioned Greenwell and Brown. Greenwell over 1,800 points. And Brown over 1,200 points in just 2 seasons, as that's Gurecki on the drive and basket for Duke.
And that's a matchup to watch. Haley Gurecki is being defended by Kiera Leslie, which is the best perimeter defender for Wes Moore. So that matchup could tell us a lot about how this game will go.
Suggs has the board for Duke. Boykin out of bounds and back to NC State.
And those are the kind of frustrating possessions. One thing I'll say about Boykin, boy, she can really pass the basketball. As her team starts to anticipate and understands the way she plays, she is just a smart and smooth and savvy offensive weapon.
Coming back from a knee injury in mid-December last season, playing in her 5th game and getting her 2nd start for Boykin, number 12 in Duke blue. Off the glass and bouncing out, kept alive on the shot attempt by Leslie, but Duke's going to have it.
State's had a couple possessions where they've kind of kept the basketball in the middle of the floor. Can't be afraid to pass it and rotate and move it around and find those gaps in the Duke defense.
Crutchfield. Koenig brings it up. '81st meeting between these two teams as the long rebound is tracked down. Cassell, her pass though into the backcourt, and it is a violation against NC State. So a substitution for Duke, their most experienced player, Brianna Odom, who's made 56 career starts but has struggled in the last 2 games, was not in the starting lineup tonight.
Yeah, 7 points total over the last 2 games. And this is a player that's on every National Player of the Year watch list, just in a little bit of a funk, trying to work her way out and maybe keeping an eye on her energy level. I mean, she is a threat. Long, lengthy, athletic. She's just got to make the defense have to guard her no matter where she's playing on the floor.
That was Cunane on the block. She had just come into the lineup for NC State. Odom has played well in road games this season, though, averaging 15 points and 7 boards in 4 road contests. Boykin down low, and it's an easy basket for the Blue Devils as Jade Williams has the layup and her first bucket.
And easy is the perfect description. When Boykin's in the game, she makes life easier offensively for the rest of her team by creating angles and scoring opportunities.
Rogers ran into a double team. Cunane couldn't handle the pass, and Duke comes away with the basketball. Odom. Williams made the catch right near the baseline.
So like that. That's where Odom's got to find a way to make that defense guard her, even if it's off the drive, just drawing an extra defender, just being a threat.
Traveling against Williams.
Boykin's only been back for 4 games, but over those 4 games, she's got 16 assists, and this is what she does right here. She sees the floor, takes her defender, but also takes another defender with her, brings the help up in the easy drop-down pass. Nice touch.
Had 7 assists in the most recent win for Duke on Sunday against Florida Gulf Coast, 57-41. That'll stay with NC State. Duke got rebounded Florida Gulf Coast 44-24.
Both of these teams found themselves challenged. Florida Gulf Coast, not surprising. Paul Smesco does a great job with that program. Davidson also, I'm very impressed with their showing.
Fight for the loose ball. 4 players are on the deck. It is a hell ball situation. The arrow will favor Duke.
Let me just say those are 2 games that the score didn't tell the story, because the opponent was actually better than that final score would indicate.
6th season at NC State for Wes Moore. Both of these teams made it to the Sweet 16 last year of the NCAA tournament. 3-point basket.
And NC State was going to give Boykin that shot. They were going to make her prove that she could hit that and go on the screen. So we may see an adjustment in playing over that screen if she starts to get too hot from outside.
Just the 3rd made 3 of the season for Boykin, and her first points of the evening. Rogers was the cutter. She traveled as she tried to get it to her teammate in the paint. Boykin. Odom trying to extend that range. Hunter from the free throw line does not get the bounce.
And defense bother on that. Good job by Duke getting back in transition.
End-to-end action. Top of the key for three. Boykin. LaChina, she came in with 2 made three-pointers. She's got 2 made in the first quarter for the Blue Devils, and they've taken the lead.
I told you, Tom, take the percentages out. This is a rivalry game. None of that matters. Numbers don't matter.
Koenig, she's already made 2, and now she's made 3 three-point baskets, and the lead right back to the pack.
You cannot let Aislinn Koenig get her feet set. Number 1 in the ACC in three-point field goals made. Boykin brought her 3 tonight, too.
Another one for Boykin. She's got 9. Koenig has 9. Remember, NC State scored the first 8 points of this game on the strength of a couple of Koenig threes. She lets it fly again. This time it's Gurecki with the clearance for the Blue Devils. Gurecki for 3. Leslie had the position for the pack. Couldn't hit Cunane with the bounce pass. Right back the other way and taken by Koenig. This is what we're in for tonight as Koenig dribbles on the sideline. Get the seatbelt ready. 3-pointers fallen in Reynolds Coliseum tonight thanks to Boykin and Koenig. Not bashful from beyond the arc. They both have 3 made threes here in the first quarter with inside of a minute to go. See Grace Hunter kind of bringing that defense out a little bit, and there's a turnover. Cunane grabbed it in the 6th of the quarter for Duke. Koenig, who shoots 44% from beyond the arc. Leslie looks over at Wes Moore for some instruction. Shot clock is at 8, game clock at 22. Cunane, turnaround, halfway down.
Good job by Duke covering up Aislinn Koenig with some size. They put the length of Odom on her defensively. I say Boykin keeps this one.
Boykin for 3. She hit the deck after the shot, and NC State will not get it off in time. What a first quarter. And the Blue Devils have the lead, 15-13. This is ACC College.
Impactful because she's so physically strong. First of all, you're talking about 103 push-ups. You're talking about an incredible bench press, well over 160 pounds. She's somebody who isn't afraid to compete. She now is a true freshman. She actually got her year back, as she should have, relative to her injury. So she's got some great experience in which to build from, and I think her best days are right in front of her.
Michaela Boykin playing in her 5th game this season, making her 2nd start, 3 of 4 from long distance in limited action this season. She had gone 2 for 12 from beyond the arc. She has lightened it up along with Koenig for NC State, who's also got 3 threes.
Let's not overlook the fact that she's from Clinton, North Carolina, so she understands what this rivalry is all about. Can't say enough how much mental toughness it takes to come back from any kind of injury, but especially at this point in the season.
Basket and foul on the drive. Grace Hunter.
You can see what NC State's leading scorer is all about. Grace Hunter just strong and powerful off of the drive. It's really hard to keep her out of the paint. She also does a good job of slashing into the paint, back cutting to get easy baskets. Just physically dominates her defender.
And while she is from right here in Raleigh, Boykin is the only player from North Carolina on that Duke roster. This is Williams who has to back it out. Gets it back from Suggs and shoots. Odom creates another opportunity. Duke shot 46% from the floor in that first quarter. Shot clock is at 10. Goodchild, three-pointer.
Goodchild had to work for that basket. I mean, she ran both sides of the floor. That's how you work off the ball and with the ball to get a basket.
Her first three of the game. Hunter has a clear path to the rim. 5 points for Hunter. Our Hardy star to watch has tied this game at 18. Goodchild, who made that last three-pointer, shoots 50% from beyond the arc. That is the best in the ACC. Trying to go inside to Williams. Grenade stands her ground and makes the play defensively. Grenade 6'5" from Summerfield, North Carolina.
Cunane and Goodchild both having fantastic freshman seasons. One leading the league in three-point field goal percentage, the other in field goal percentage. And Grace Hunter showing out in her first ACC game.
Third time she's taken it down that right side of the lane and angled right to the basket for two. Turnaround from Odom. That's the poise of an experienced player right there. In the teeth of the defense, didn't panic. She averages close to 14 points per game for Duke. Koenig, another three, 12 points.
And boy, Duke is going to definitely talk about these shots for Aislinn Koenig, because you cannot lose her. Even if you're in a zone, you've got to shade in her direction.
Ball going back to NC State.
You mentioned the veteran move by Leona Odom here. Just continues to move and work. And how about the size advantage? Nice reverse pivot and the high release on that jump shot.
6'2" junior Leona Odom. Leads the team in rebounding, just over 7 per game, and shoots 55% from the floor, although has struggled 2 games prior to tonight. As LaChana mentioned, just had a total of 7 points. But plays well on the road. Off the glass and good. Jones has 2.
Good isolation right in the middle of the zone, and that just kills your defense, because the zone is supposed to protect the inside. When you can get that pass in, Duke's got to close that out.
Kayla Jones with her first basket for the sophomore from Janesville, North Carolina. That is Odom cutting baseline and ran into Cunane.
We are seeing good activity from Leona Odom, moving without the basketball. We saw that high post jump shot just a second ago. They need those kind of moves from her right here, reading the defense. And that's a tough guard for Grace Hunter either way, because she's giving up 5 good inches.
Odom shoots 58% from the line, although as a team from the line, for Duke, it has been a struggle. Just 62% on the season at the bottom of the conference.
Yeah, both of these teams want to have a better showing from the free throw line in ACC play than they have in non-conference.
Cassell back into the lineup. Cunane to the bench for NC State. That's a 3 out of the corner. It's off the mark from Hunter. Odom is running. Regathers.
Nice read.
Finds the open player.
Boy, Odom is making plays all over the floor right now for Duke.
Akinbode James with her first basket. She struggled against Florida Gulf Coast, just 1 for 6 from the floor, but she's in the box score thanks to the hustle by Odom and the great feed. Koenig. Odom tracks it down. It is 5 years to the day the last time Duke defeated NC State here in Raleigh. And we're going to get an offensive foul. Jade Williams her first.
Take a look at this play and how Akinbode James just continues to run, continues to play. You never stop. Defense collapses on Odom, and she makes a perfect read. And Akinbode James is a freshman. I'll tell you this. She's gotten in some foul trouble early in her career, but when the game slows down for her, boy, is she a talent. Quick, good instincts. She's got to get stronger.
The call being reversed to the baseline off of Duke and NC State basketball.
The NC State faithful are all over that. They were right. That ball went right off of Odom.
Sierra Cruz quickly correcting herself down in that corner. Baseline entry from Koenig, stolen away by Gorecki. Odom, catch, step, and created contact on the way up. She'll get some free throws.
Duke is really running hard right now, running down the floor, getting easy baskets. Everything we expected, a 1-point.
We've got a 1-point game inside Reynolds Coliseum. Both teams well above their season averages from three-point real estate.
Well, ACC play is in full effect, and what does that mean? You have to hit shots. How about Michaela Boykin showing that she's got another dimension to her game? And Aislinn Koenig, well, we knew she could do this right here. That stroke, the three-point shot, she makes it look so easy.
She has all 4 of the three-pointers for NC State. Duke is 4 of 7. And Boykin has 3 of those three-pointers.
And even though Duke relies so much on their zone, they have played more man this year. Joanne P. McCauley said she's impressed with how her young team has picked up different defenses. Odom off on that second free throw. So you knew that in a zone in particular there would be some open shots for Aislinn Koenig, but she's done a good job of facilitating, but also still looking for her shot.
Despite the miss by Odom, she's got 5 points as we play in the second quarter. NC State leads the overall series 44-36 as they meet for the 81st time. Shot clock down to 3 for Leslie.
And that screening action at the top of the zone by NC State has bought them a couple of good looks. Leslie just not able to knock it down there.
Attempted save along the baseline. Duke still has it. Gorecki got her defender in the air. Up and under. Williams had it for a moment, but the ball ends up with Grace Hunter. Leslie thought about a 3. Instead, it's Hunter out of the corner. Fight on the offensive glass. The attempt is good. Cassell stayed with it for the pack, and she's got 6.
The toughness of Erica Cassell when you think about what they replaced from last year, their entire front court between Mays and Nelson. You needed to bring in some players in the rotation that understood the expectation, the strength inside of this Wolfpack defense and rebounding.
Adams tried to follow her miss. Picked up the foul for Duke. First on Jada Adams. Goodchild's coming in for Adams. Also Williams out for Coach McCauley. And Hunter gets a breather for NC State. NC State eliminated Duke the ACC tournament last year with a 51-45 victory. The Wolfpack lost in the semis to Louisville 64-59 at the Greensboro Coliseum. That is our destination once again this year for the ACC Women's Championship.
Baseline is wide open against that zone. NC State's got to get somebody to the short corner or have a cutter on that backside.
Cassell missed in close. .245 to go in the second quarter. NC State raced out to an 8-0 lead. Duke came back to take the lead. It's gone back and forth over the last several minutes. Stayed up by 2 with the shot clock at 5 for Gorecki on the drive. It rims out, but she is going to the line. Leslie got in the way of Gorecki. Wes Moore's team with the Sweet 16 last year before losing to Mississippi State. The team eventually defeated by Notre Dame to win the national championship a season ago. The Greensboro Coliseum, home of the ACC Women's Tournament. The 14-game, 5-day event begins on March 6th. You can win a VIP trip to the tournament. The package includes 2 tickets to all games, 4 nights hotel accommodations, hospitality access, and a parking pass. For more information, visit theacc.com/WBBVIP, and you can also meet LaChina Robinson.
Oh.
How about that? We'll all be there. Can't wait.
Be just about anywhere, you know. Bojangles, you know, some Kentucky Fried Chicken. Anywhere there's food, you can meet me.
A lot of basketball to play between then and now. What a way to start.
Parties.
Conference play.
Parties,
there you go.
Right?
Long rebound off the miss by Goodchild. We're going to keep it at this end of the floor, and the foul against the Pack. Second on Cunane. So she goes to the bench with those 2 personal fouls. And the tickets to the ACC Women's Tournament on sale today as Odom rises but misses. Duke has won that title 8 times. 4 times for NC State, but not since 1991. Koenig, a rare miss.
A good look. Get the ball to the middle of the zone and an easy pass out to Koenig.
Gorecki on the run. Goodchild from the corner.
And I'll tell you this, we are looking at 2 of the best 3-point shooters in the ACC with Aislinn Koenig and Mila Goodchild, the freshman. Write that name down. Reigning ACC Rookie of the Week.
The lead has now changed hands 7 times in the first half. Leslie hoisting the 3. Gorecki goes up to meet the basketball. Goodchild, 1 dribble.
Yeah, she got to rush that one. Didn't quite have her feet set. She was excited about putting that one up.
Coach McCauley, 12th year on that Duke bench. 304 wins as the Blue Devils head coach. He got number 300 November 24th. And a win against Ball State, 79-62. The fastest coach in ACC history to reach 300 career victories in ACC play. Just 15 games faster than the legend Kay Yow, for whom this court is named. Shot clock is down to 5. Leslie, a very soft, kind bounce from the iron in Reynolds Coliseum. And it's her first basket of the game. Tied at 29 with 15 seconds to play. Koenig in the passing lane, trying to get to the rim. Stepped around the defender, but couldn't get it up on the square. Ready to crank up the second half. Duke and NC State. This long-standing ACC rivalry reignited here at Reynolds Coliseum. Gorecki changing direction. Duke will maintain possession. And a fresh shot clock in the early moments of the third quarter.
Couple things that I'll be looking for here in this third quarter. I don't think it'll be long before we see Leona Odom. I thought she had a solid first half for Duke. NC State, they cooled down in the second quarter from the 3-point line for one for 7. So look for them to go inside more. I think they need to get Kiera Leslie more involved on the offensive end. She only had 2 points. Then NC State with 10 turnovers in the first half. That can't happen again.
That was Hunter driving. Jade Williams trying to stop her, and Williams has picked up her second personal. So Grace Hunter to the free throw line, 7 points in the first half. Koenig led the way for NC State with 12 points. All on three-point baskets. She had 4 of them. This is one of 7 games around the ACC to open up league play. Told you about Miami's win. Louisville and Notre Dame, Final Four participants from a season ago. Notre Dame in control of its game. China had her eye on the Syracuse-Clemson game.
Tell you, I've seen Clemson play, and tenacity and aggressiveness and toughness count for a lot in ACC, and they've got all that. Just outmatched by the Orange so far.
And one of the new coaches in the league, as we documented at halftime, Amanda Butler, for that Clemson program. 4 new coaches in the ACC out of bounds, but will stay with NC State. Boykin was the big three-point threat in the first half. She was 3 of 4 for the Blue Devils. Three-point territory. Shot clock is at 5. Hunter wants it back for a three-pointer. Offensive glass up and in. Cassell for NC State, and she's got 8.
And that's what you give up when you play zone, is positioning on the glass. And NC State is not a team that you want to give too many opportunities.
Best rebounding margin in the conference and 7th in the nation. Koenig brings it up. Three-pointer is good. Leslie now with 5 points. And the Wolfpack, which started the game on an 8-0 run, have built a 36-29 lead, and Duke has not scored so far in the third quarter, and have turned it over 11 times in the game. NC State's won 4 of the last 5 meetings between the teams, including 3 in a row right here in Raleigh. This is Rogers. Koenig, this time inside the line. The result is similar, 14 points. It's her first conventional basket of the game. Gorecki stepping back, and that's a 2-point basket for Gorecki. Officials were right on top of it.
That was not an easy basket by Haley Gorecki. She had to gather herself, went off the bounce, had defense pursuing. Took a lot of poise.
5 points for Gorecki, playing in her 50th game. The Blue Devils uniform today. Saved along the baseline. Leslie misses. Hunter, offensive glass. Everything but score it. Gorecki came up short. It's off the end line, off of Duke. And now the officials are going to talk about it.
Well, I mentioned that we may see Kiera Leslie get more involved on the offensive end. Well, there she is from the three-point line, and you see the defense was sagging off of her. You cannot play Kiera Leslie that way this year. She is shooting 46% from long range, actually the best on the team. Aislinn Koenig has the most made three-pointers, but Leslie came into this game with 26 of 57. She has put in a ton of work.
Officials talked about that previous play and awarded the ball to Duke, but it misfire. Koenig. Leslie tries the other side. Angular rebound to Gorecki with the fancy dribble. Does not have the numerical advantage. Took it to the rim anyway. Gets it back. Tries to work it baseline. Goodchild lost the handle on the way up. Leslie 3-on-2. Ball was knocked away from Hunter, but a foul is called on the play.
Grace Hunter at 5'9" is about as tough of a rebounder as you will find in the country. Don't let the size fool you. She's corralling about 7 rebounds per game from the perimeter spot.
80% from the stripe on the season for Hunter.
It was funny today because when we asked her about her rebounding, I said, so how are you so good on the glass at your size? And I paused and she said, at my size, I'm not short. I was like, okay, point taken. You're not short, but you still rebound very well.
Yeah. NC State got it back. Hunter. 5.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Boykin the steal, the drive. Leslie got back defensively and then took it away. Tried to find Hunter in the corner. Pass was behind her and out of bounds.
There's some sloppy basketball turnovers by both teams. In a rivalry game, it's going to be hard to hit the home run play. You got to make the safe play because defense is everywhere. There's a different level of hustle and scrappiness.
Especially in this building, the China, recently refurbished. You played some games in here, but this is your first time you've seen it with all the shininess and the new touches they've added.
This is not the same place I played.
It's an
You're gonna have to
incredible venue.
prove it. I don't believe it. This is a beautiful facility. Boy, I am just in awe. I walked into the building and my mouth just dropped. I mean, from the lobby area with display cases to the statue of Coach Yao outside that I was excited to take a picture of. Beautiful.
$35 million renovation to Reynolds Coliseum, and what a game we've got tonight. NC State has the 39-31 lead against
ACC College Hoops is brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. And Hardee's, because it tastes better.
Some of the statues and monuments outside of Reynolds Coliseum, including Kei Yao, the legend, 34 years as the head coach at NC State, 680 wins, and 4 times she and her players won that ACC tournament championship.
And that's the first place I went when I pulled up to this building, is I wanted to see the statue of Coach Yao. And I met her for the first time as an 18-year-old kid when I got to Wake Forest, and she just had such a profound impact on my life, even beyond that, with her faith. And this building, you can just feel her impact.
Hunter misses. Coach Yao passed away in '09, but her legend certainly lives on. The court is named for her. The statue outside of Reynolds Coliseum, which has been the home of NC State women's basketball.
Play for K, which has been one of the most popular initiatives that I can remember that women's basketball has undertaken, raising funds and awareness for women's cancers. Those games come up in February.
The Play for K game here at Reynolds Coliseum will be February 18th against Notre Dame, the defending national champs. But not the defending ACC tournament champs is Louisville. Took out the Fighting Irish, who had won 4 in a row since entering the league at the ACC Women's Tournament. We'll go to Greensboro for that wonderful event. We'll see you there in about 2 months and change. Rogers steps around the defender, and it's the largest lead of the night for NC State at 10.
And more balance. What we've seen from NC State in this third quarter is Kira Leslie getting involved in the scoring. We see Rogers there, not just Aislinn Koenig, and they're not just forcing threes. They're getting inside of Duke's defense.
Duke now just 1 for 10 from the floor in this quarter. Goodchild lofting the 3, bounces out to Cunane. Lisa Cunane, the freshman, who averages just over 5 rebounds per game.
I am anxious to see how Cunane performs in ACC play. Up the level of intensity, the size, and the turnover there. But she's got to post coach that a lot of people would recognize, Erin Bath, once a Clemson great, has joined the staff here for Wes Moore. And boy, was she just a relentless rebounder and scorer in the post. I don't know how many black eyes Erin Bath had at her time at Clemson, but I don't think anyone can match it.
So great to have you with us this evening. Tom Wormy, along with former Wake Forest standout LaChana Robinson, and our outstanding production crew. The long rebound goes to Leslie. 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Cunane spinning and scoring.
Great footwork, soft touch. We'll be saying that name Cunane a lot over the next 3 years. Keeps the ball high, fundamentally sound. As she gets stronger, watch out, because you don't usually see Wes Moore's teams. We haven't with that type of size and offensive skill set.
First basket of the game for Cunane as well. Approaching the 2-minute threshold of the third quarter. We were tied at 29 at halftime. It's been a struggle in the third for Duke. Against the top field goal defense in all of the ACC, it's a driving Gorecki and a whistle.
And one of the things we've seen from Duke in terms of their offense, and you don't want to take anything away from NC State. I mean, they've earned their field goal percentage defense. You know, they are stout, but Duke has had so many moving pieces in their lineup. They don't have a lot of experience. They have been inconsistent, as we talked about the play of players like Odom as of recent. Gorecki is coming off maybe not her best performance. And then you're inserting Boykin in. And so they're learning each other, right? And so teams that are learning each other don't really know how to get each other the ball, where to find. It's just a lot of learning still happening on the offensive end. And all of that going together against a tough defense, you can struggle.
NC State outscoring the Blue Devils 14-4, but Gorecki creates the turnover. Right back to NC State. They've got the 10-point lead. Just inside 2 minutes to go here in our third quarter. It's a miss from Hunter. Gorecki on the run, front rim, but she was fouled. So she's going back to the free throw line. Koenig picked up her first personal. 13-0 on the season, just one of 6 undefeated teams, and 2 hail from the ACC. There were 7, but earlier today Miami at home beat Virginia Tech for the first loss for the Hokies, 68-61, as Katie Meyer's team got the victory.
Yeah, and if you heard our halftime report, we were grateful to have Debbie Antonelli join us. It was the front court, Mesa Hall for Beatrice Montpremier from Miami, that eventually took out Kenny Brooks' team, which I'm very impressed with. I'm still impressed with. I put them in my AP Top 25 poll. I know Debbie has as well, and I think they are a sleeper, but that just tells you how good Miami is to have secured that victory today.
Both of those teams receiving votes in the most recent poll, just outside the top 25. Miami and Virginia Tech. Another turnover. Gorecki, active hands, coming right down the lane against Koenig. The scoop is good for Gorecki, and she's got 11 into double digits.
Gorecki really crafty once she gets to the rim, is able to find the basket.
12 times this season, the redshirt junior Haley Gorecki has gotten into double figures in scoring.
Duke has stepped up their defensive intensity in the last few possessions.
Inside of a minute to go now. Cunane tied up by Odom with 7 on the shot clock, and the arrow will favor NC State.
And that's the kind of possession that as Cunane gets stronger, can't bring that ball down, got to keep it high. She's been caught a few times with defenders pursuing her and turning the ball over or traveling.
Fantastic help from Odom on that play. Leslie misses. Odom knocks it away. It's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be off of NC State. It will be Duke basketball. Denise Brooks was right there to make the call along the sideline.
And I think she got that right, actually. She got that right.
Haley Gorecki has all 8 points for Duke here in the third quarter. She's done it from the line and from the floor. Steps back just inside. inside the arc for 2 for Gorecki. That's 11 in the quarter and 13 for the game. Leslie dribbles into the double team, buffs it up. Boykin went for it. Foul against NC State.
Well, Haley Gorecki's shooting percentages are not what we're used to this year. She has had to take on a lot facilitating this team. The injuries to Lambert and Boykin, the responsibility has all been on her shoulders. But now that she's able to play more off the ball, you see her confidence, you see her with more energy at this point in the game than we have in previous games.
Final 10 seconds of the third quarter, and a late burst by Duke to get back into this one and cut the lead to 4. Boykin with a crossover and release, and Boykin beats the clock with the jumper. The Blue Devils come on strong. We're headed to the fourth. LaChina separated by just 2 points.
The level of difficulty on that shot by Boykin. 2 defenders, outstretched arms, it doesn't matter. Duke right back in.
The family of Mila Goodchild all the way from Queensland, Australia, to watch their daughter play in this rivalry game. And NC State controlled play early, LaChina, but Duke came on strong late in the third.
Yeah, NC State had a 12-point lead with 2.5 minutes left to go in that third quarter, but here come the Blue Devils on that 10-0 run behind Haley Gorecki, who started off the game 1 for 6 from the field in the first half, is 3 for 7 in that third. And you see the numbers there. Duke really fighting to get back in this at the end of the third.
That our Hardy's game summary. A big quarter for Gorecki, who had 11 points in the quarter. And Boykin had that jumper to beat the horn at the very end of the third. So we start the fourth. NC State up by 2. We were tied at halftime at 29. NC State with a 10 rebound advantage on the boards against Duke. This is Goodchild, the freshman from Australia. Shot clock is at 6 for Gorecki. Out of the corner, 3-pointer, Haley Gorecki at 16 points.
And that is her first 3-pointer of the game. Was 0 for 3 before hitting that shot. Hit some long ones, but and this is a player that when she had the luxury of Lexi Brown and Rebecca Greenwell, she was knocking down shots at a high percentage, but she's understanding how to get her shot off. Number one, she's taller than her defender there, but against the best defender on the other team, she's gone from getting the 3rd best defender to the best defender. That's a big change.
Odom fought for that loose ball. Gorecki now with 16 points. That leads all scorers tonight. More importantly, she has given Duke the lead with that 3-point basket on the last trip down the floor for the Blue Devils. Boykin trying to extend the range. Rogers had the position and Odom came over the top. First on Odom. China Robinson, this is exactly what we expected. We said forget those records. NC State might be undefeated. Duke playing some of its better basketball coming into the game, winning 5 of its last 6 games, and the perfect record for NC State on the line tonight.
Yeah. Those in-state bragging rights. We're talking to Kiera Leslie, who's from Holly Springs, North Carolina, earlier today, and she said, listen, the best thing about the state of North Carolina, there's so many college teams here, but so that means whoever can brag at the end of the year that they're the best team in the state, that's major.
8 players from the state of North Carolina on that NC State roster. 1-point Duke lead. Shot clock at 10. Odom against 2 defenders. Cassell was able to get the rebound. Hunter with a crossover. Into the corner for Jones. And that foul's against the Wolfpack. Might have been Cassell. It was as she was going for the rebound. And that's the first on Erica Cassell. Crutchfield's coming out of the game for NC State. See her going to that bench.
Here, Leslie's going to get back in the game, and you bet your bottom dollar her #1 job is to cool off Haley Gorecki. You can see she is stretching her defense right here, ready for the challenge.
Good child. Traveled. #15th turnover for the Blue Devils, who won 24 games last year, 11 in the ACC, and went to the Sweet 16. Hunter got the roll.
Duke showing some pressure on that last possession. Picking up three-quarter court. NC State very poised, gets an easy basket on the backside.
10th lead change of the game. 6:50 to go in the fourth. Odom. Too strong from Odom. We've also been tied 5 times tonight. Hunter, Cassell, tied up by Odom in midair, and out of bounds to the Wolfpack.
Great job here by Grace Hunter pulling a defender with her, but Odom on the backside. She has been discouraging any interior scoring from NC State, just hanging back there in the defense, her length.
NC State led by as many as 12 late in the third quarter, but it was a 10-0 run to close out the third period by Duke to cut the lead to 2. Leslie misses. Odom. Impressive vertical leap from Odom. Just jumping over everyone to get the board, and now Gorecki lets it fly. Leslie drew the defensive attention. Three-pointer. Erica Cassell. The 9 points in the game for Cassell.
She's only made 3 on the season. That is her 4th of the year.
Hunter runs it down. NC State by 4. Hunter gets tied up by Odom. Gorecki has picked up her 2nd personal foul.
That's a big shot by Erica Cassell. Every big wants to shoot from the outside. She's only taken now 7 3-pointers. Not a high-volume shooter from out there, but showing that she could knock it down.
Cassell, the junior from Marietta, Georgia, averages just over 5 points per game. Reset from Koenig, glances over at Westmore. Odom, the anticipation and steal.
Duke is so long in that defense. They get tips, deflections, do a good job of anticipating and really spreading you out.
Boykin trying to shake Leslie. Gorecki, the runner, and she was fouled on the way to the rim. Kayla Jones got a piece of her. Cassell launching that 3. Erica Cassell, 11 points in the game for Cassell. Led by Aislinn Koenig with 14 points. Erica Cassell has 11 points and 8 rebounds. That leads the team, and Gorecki's at the free throw line for Duke. First points in almost 5 minutes for the Blue Devils. And that is 18 points for Gorecki. That is a game high. She leads all scorers with those 18. Scored 10 in the third quarter alone.
down the stretch, where does NC State go to get their scoring? Their three-point shooting has cooled down a lot. 6 of 23 for the game, well below their season average from outside the arc. They've only gotten to the free throw line 5 times.
Shot clock is at 6. Hunter off the glass on the drive. 14 points now for Grace Hunter. Right on her average for the season. Boykin dropped it off. Williams missed. Leslie's got it for NC State.
Great interior defense by NC State. I thought Duke had a layup there.
They met once in the regular season, that in Durham, and a win by the Blue Devils. Their regular season meeting this year, right here at Reynolds Coliseum. 10 on the shot clock. NC State's got a 4-point lead. Koenig finds the spot. Odom pulls down the rebound. 8 rebounds for Odom. Odom is the leading rebounder for Duke. After that last one, there's a timeout on the court. Blue Devils trailing the pack by 4. 6 renewed tonight. Blue Devils and Wolfpack, one of 7 games on the slate of the ACC.
I mean, look at the closeness of some of these games. North Carolina, Louisville within 10. Georgia Tech, Boston College. Look at BC hanging in there with Georgia Tech. Florida State, Virginia tied game there. With the exception of that Pitt Notre Dame game, I mean, everything is tight in the ACC. It's going to be a competitive year, Tom. Buckle up.
Opening night of the ACC, Florida State's 12-1, Virginia's 6-7, but looking for the upset. Gorecki let it fly, did not hit the rim, out of bounds into NC State.
Haley Gorecki has scored 15 of Duke's 17 total points in the second half. So NC State anticipating the ball would go to her, but where are the other options? Where are the balance? Where's the balance for Duke?
Cunane. Their second bucket of the game is a big one. Inside of 3 minutes to go in regulation. Teams last played here in January of 2017. A 3-point win for NC State against Duke. Rogers with the steal. Wolfpack trying to remain one of 6 undefeated teams in all of the nation. Cunane with free throws upcoming.
Very interested to see that Wes Moore is trusting Cunane in this situation because she did not have an easy go at it to start the 4th quarter. So far in the second half, she has struggled a little, and so he put her back in the game, and she's delivering. And this is big when you're trying to earn minutes as a freshman in your first ACC game.
Couple of big free throws from Cunane. 72% from the line on the season. She's up to 6 points. And the lead now is up to 8 as Duke struggles over the last 7 minutes, and the struggles continue. Rogers, Cunane, basket and foul. And how about the last couple of trips down the floor for the freshman, Elisa Cunane.
There is nothing that Duke can do with that size as they collapse. Cunane at 6'5", and not just 6'5", but her length. She's ready to finish the basket right at the rim, but good passing by State and sharing the ball there.
It's now a 9-0 run. 3 for 3 from the free throw line for Cunane. 57-46 and 2.5 minutes to go. Out of of bounds off of NC State. A win today for NC State. They tied the program record for the unbeaten start. Did that back in the 99-2000 season. Boykin gets it back. Made some early three-pointers. Misses on the drive. That's Rogers between three players and a foul against Duke.
The deeper that you can go to get production in league play, the more successful you will be. DeeDee Rogers has made some important plays down the stretch. The freshman Cunane has come in and made a difference. That's what it takes in conference play.
DeeDee Rogers is just 7 of 12 on the season from the free throw line. Uses the back of the rim effectively, and here's what lies ahead for Joanne P. McCauley.
Yeah, tough road ahead for Duke as they play back-to-back top 10s with NC State and then going to Louisville. Doesn't get easier from here.
Rogers makes her first 2 free throw attempts of the night to make it 59-46. Hunter was trying to beat everyone down the court, and Koenig fired the long pass. That was Boykin who was reaching in. That's her first foul.
Yeah, definitely.
They attend to Hunter.
Awkwardly on that leg.
So with NC State up by 11, the training and medical staff attending to Grace Hunter. We featured her at the top of the broadcast, the leading scorer for this Wolfpack team. She's got 14 tonight, slightly below her season average of 14.6, but did take an awkward step as she was heading towards the basket after the long pass from Koenig. Such hustle and determination on display from both teams tonight. It's been such an exciting basketball game, but right here the concern is now with Grace Hunter. Boykin reaching in. You saw the awkward step from Hunter, and then obviously in some discomfort as she goes down along the baseline. Appears that they're focusing on that right leg, LaChina.
And our thoughts are with Grace Hunter right now. Boy, she is as tough as they come. So if she didn't bounce back up, you immediately start to worry.
And really, was there a player who was more looking forward to tonight's game? Remember, she's a transfer from Charlotte, sat out last season, but she's from right here in Raleigh, Athens Drive High School. And you spoke to her before the game. She couldn't wait to put the ball in the air.
Yeah, her eyes were lighting up to start ACC play. She said this place is going to be packed, and to play against a rival in Duke could have been a better combination. This is
and certainly concern from the Duke players and coaching staff as well. She did not score in the first half. 14 points since for Hunter, who was trying to get ahead of the field on the long touchdown pass. And
it's already an NC State team that's down one with Kayla Ely out. She was their go-to, their point guard, their mainstay, their everything. She is out with a knee injury. And
Ely, who had 35 starts a season ago, and you can see they've got the supported brace on that right leg for Grace Hunter. Getting the ovation. She'll head back to the dressing room for further evaluation, but obviously in some pain. And great work by the training and medical staff to get right to her and stabilize that right leg. So it is a difficult task, but the players must turn around and focus on the final 1:14 to go.
Still some game to be played here.
Again, just a common foul on the play against Boykin.
Ty Crutchfield is going to go to the free throw line, entering the game.
Crutchfield is 8 of 11 on the season from the line. First point of the night for Crutchfield. Goodchild. Just over a minute to play in regulation.
You just got to find some scoring and quickly.
Boykin in a congested area, lost the handle momentarily, and then Williams is fouled.
That's what Duke wants to do. Stop the clock and put points on the board without losing time. You can expect some defense if these free throws go down. They're going to try to gain a possession.
Jade Williams, a sophomore from the Colony, Texas. Had 17 points and 11 boards in the double-double, both career highs in that win against Florida Gulf Coast on Sunday.
Duke picking up here, trying to get a steal, create a turnover, and they do.
They did, and Gorecki got fouled with 55 seconds to go. So Koenig has her second personal. And Coach McCauley's team doing exactly what they needed to do in that instance. Get Gorecki to the free throw line. She's up to 19 points now. Had just 3 points in the first half. Now NC State wants a timeout as Rogers got the rebound. Wes Moore's team won 26 games a season ago, 11 in conference play, and made it to the Sweet 16. This is their first conference game of the season. Here are the next 4 for the Pack. China?
Yeah, at Boston College against Pitt. Virginia team that's fighting for their first ACC win under Tina Thompson's guidance tonight. And then Virginia Tech, that came into the day undefeated, but took their first loss of the season in Coral Gables to the Miami Hurricanes.
68-61 was the final in that game, and the win for the Canes. It's a 9-point difference with 54.7 seconds to go in regulation here in our fourth quarter. NC State basketball.
NC State got to advance the ball, so not having to face that Duke pressure all the way up the court.
Malcolm Bodie James tried to check in, was not allowed to. Cunane on the inbounds is fouled by Jade Williams. Cunane, who has come on strong here in the fourth. NC State 10 of 12 from the line, 3 of them from Cunane. Trying to make it a 10-point lead. Double digits for Cunane, 10 points. Kept alive by the Blue Devils, but they're running out of clock time. Gorecki Rogers got the rebound and she got fouled. Odom and Williams were in the vicinity.
What did we learn tonight about these two teams, Tom? You know, Duke had some very good stretches. At the end of the day, their offense just not versatile enough. Ellie Gurecki really carrying them, but Odom, who had a really energetic first half, not so much in terms of offense in the second half. Goodchild as a freshman in her first ACC game. She showed some moments too, just not enough consistency on the offensive end, versatility for Duke. Both teams played pretty stout defense, but at the end of the day, NC State had a place to go to get baskets when they needed it. Grace Hunter scored an important basket down the stretch. She has since left the game, if you're just joining us, with what appeared to be a leg injury, a right leg injury. Cunane, I've been impressed with Cunane down the stretch, and that says a lot about Wes Moore and how much he trusts her that she has been in such a pivotal time.
Cunane with 10 points for NC State. Don't forget the Greensboro Coliseum, home of the ACC Women's Tournament. The 14-game 5-day event begins on March 6th. Tickets for all games, that complete book of tickets, $99. To purchase your tournament tickets, visit Ticketmaster.com. All roads lead to Greensboro, North Carolina, the ACC Women's Tournament. Cunane's 10 points all in the second half. And the Wolfpack, it appears they are closing in on their 14th win of the season against 0 defeats. Of course, they will anxiously await the evaluation of their star player, Grace Hunter, who, as LaShawna mentioned, had to leave the game just a few minutes ago, trying to catch a long inbounds pass and took an awkward step, and they braced that right leg for Grace Hunter, and she went back to the locker room. Gurecki on the inbounds for Duke, but trailing 62-51. We were tied at 29 at halftime. Final 30 seconds. Boykin. Cunane had the position. Williams picked up the foul.
Boykin really showed us that she can shoot from outside. Did not continue to have as big of an impact on the offensive end, but we saw what she could do in terms of helping this Duke offense to run more efficiently and effectively.
So that is the 5th on Jade Williams, the 6'5" sophomore. So Jada Adams is into the game for Duke with 26.1 seconds to go. Cunane at the free throw line. With China, we documented the fact that as far as rebounding margin is concerned, nobody's better in the ACC than NC State. They lead Duke 46-30 on the boards tonight.
And that means everything, especially in a game where neither team was really in a great offensive rhythm. We saw a lot of turnovers. Rebounds count. Possessions count.
And there's another one from Crutchfield. And the Wolfpack will dribble out the clock. Final seconds from Reynolds Coliseum, and the final count, 63